The 1987 Philippine Constitution. Good morning everyone, my name is Cyril Jane Rosasenya and today I will be going to continue the report of Trinas Bernadette that were assigned to us, which was the 1987 Philippine Constitution, Article 14, the Science and Technology, Arts and Culture, and Sports. So, but before that, mga iko kaning pasensya sa inyo daan nga daghan ko distractions. Labi na mga tingog sa manok kay among awa pareha karon. But now, magsugod ta sa Section 10. Section 10 in Science and Technology state that the state shall give priority to research and development, invention, innovation, and their utilization, and to science and technology education and training and services. It shall support indigenous, appropriate, and self-reliant scientific and technological capabilities and their application to the country's productive systems and national life. So, Section 10 means that there must be a priority to research because it is for the betterment of the society. That's why we have a DOST or the Department of Science and Technology offering for scholarships and looking for more researches because it is for the growth of the country and it is for the living of the people to become more easier. Section 11. So, the Congress may provide for incentives, including tax deductions, to encourage private participation in programs of basic and applied scientific research. Scholarships, grant in aid, or other form of incentives shall be provided to deserving science students, researchers, scientists, inventors, technologists, and specially gifted citizens. So, sa Section 11, nag-ingon diri nga ang hatagan na ning mga scholarship or grants in aid and other incentives kay katog yung mga deserving nga mga estudyante like kanang mga estudyante nga ni excel gud og maayo sa klase. Maong kabantay mo some of the scholarship kay kailangan sa mo take sa exams ng estudyante para og makapasa siya na nga exam kay madawat na siya na scholarship kay some scholarship kay naman na may standards and once makasud na ka na scholarship kay naasad kay i-maintain na grades while some scholarships pod kay magbased sila sa economic background sa usa ka estudyante. So, Section 12, the state shall regulate the transfer and promote the adaptation of technology from all sources for the national belief. So, in short, this means that the government should control the flow of technology in and out of the country, encouraging the use of beneficial technologies while ensuring they align with the nation's values, security, and interests. Then, Section 13 state that the state shall protect and secure the exclusive rights of scientists, inventors, artists, and other gifted citizens to their intellectual property and creations, particularly when beneficial to the people for such period as may be provided by the law. So, Section 13 means that if there are enough inventions from the scientists and inventors or artists that are helpful to the people, pwede na nila gamiton but the state will protect and secure the intellectual property of these people. For example, the IPFOL or the Intellectual Property Office of the Philippines is responsible for administering and implementing state policies on the intellectual property to protect the rights of inventors and creators. So now, let's tackle na sa arts and culture. So, Section 14, the state shall foster the preservation, enrichment, and dynamic evolution of the Filipino national culture based on the principle of unity in diversity in a climate of free artistic and intellectual expression. So, So, in this section, the state encouraging us to preserve and enrich sa atong mga nagkalain-laing kultura which can develop a sense of unity to us Filipinos. For example, the NCCA or the National Commission for Culture and Arts, they provide grants and support for various cultural festivals across the Philippines, celebrating the unique traditions of different regions while promoting a sense of national identity. So, Section 15, Arts and Letters shall enjoy the patronage of the state. The state shall conserve, promote, and popularize the nation's historical and cultural heritage and resources as well as artistic creations. So, unsa makahibuot pasabot ani? So, Section 15, example ani kay ang CCP or the Cultural Center of the Philippines, which is, it is a prime example of state patronage. Sila mo'y nag-provide og venue for performances, exhibitions, and other mga artistic endeavors that showcase Filipino talent and culture. And Section 16, all the country's artistic and historical wealth constitute the cultural treasure of the nation and shall be under the protection of the state, which must be regulate its disposition. For example, ani is ang National Museum of the Philippines, which is tasked to preserve and protect our national culture treasures like kabantay mo unsa may naa sa museum, di ba? Na mga paintings, archaeologist, mga sites, historical landmarks, and many other important works of arts that shows our culture. Section 17. The state shall recognize, respect, and protect the rights of indigenous cultural communities to preserve and develop their cultures, traditions, and institutions. So, Section 17 kay dapat dili sad maagrabyado ang mga minor groups sa pag-preserve sa ilang culture like kanang mga manubo nga mga tribes and other tribes. They have also the right to express their culture. For example, the Indigenous Peoples' Rights Acts or the IPRA of 1997. It aims to protect the rights of indigenous communities to their ancestral domains, cultural practices, and self-governance. So, Section 18, the first, the state shall ensure equal access to natural opportunities. This means that kanang tanang mga tao o tanang mga estudyante is na ay access sa education. That is why the Department of Education integrates arts and culture into the curriculum to ensure that students have access to cultural education like pag elementary nato natay subject nga arts. Hangtod pag senior high napod mi aning subject nga contemporary arts in which gipa-experience mi atong sayaw sa different festival dances, different cultures like sa kanang gipasayaw mig folk dance niya gipabuhat sad mig mga paintings and other art forms that reflects our culture. Second, in the Section 18, the state shall encourage and support researches and studies on the arts and culture. So again, in order to preserve our culture, people are encouraged to study more about culture and arts, and we are also encouraged to preserve our identity. And now, ari na ta sa pinaka-last part sa Section 14, sa Article 14 sa 1987 Philippine Constitution, which is the sports. So, Section 19 state that the state shall promote physical education and encourage sports program, league competitions, and amateur sports, including training for international competitions to foster self-discipline, teamwork, and excellence. So, maong di ta mahibo nga hangtod college na taaning physical education nga subject. It's because it is stated in the 1987 Philippine Constitution that in order to foster self-discipline, teamwork, and excellence for the development of a healthy and alert citizenry, physical education is needed. And lastly, Section 19. All education institutions shall undertake regular sports activities throughout the country in cooperation with athletic clubs and other sectors. That is why we have intrams, provincial meet, or regional squaa, mga sugiraa, o kaning palarong pambansa, and many other competitions, so that we can compete to other countries in cooperation with athletic clubs and also to other sectors. And that ends my topic, guys. I hope you learned something, and thank you for listening.